The Pittsburgh Steelers are showing interest in cornerback L'Jarius Sneed. So, L'Jarius Sneed, he was just recently franchise tagged by the Kansas City Chiefs, but apparently the Chiefs are looking to tag and trade him, meaning that they placed a franchise tag on him to secure him for one more season, but they're looking to trade him because they don't want to give him a huge contract extension that he's looking for. And apparently, per Steelers Now, they have a source that tells them the Pittsburgh Steelers are interested in trading for him. Obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs, they don't want to let him go for nothing, so they franchise tagged him and hoping they could get some value back for him. Per Ian Rapp report, they believe that they could at least get a second round pick back for L'Jarius Sneed. So, would the Steelers be willing to do that? Would the Steelers be willing to trade for this top 10 cornerback, maybe even top 5 cornerback in the league? Let's take a look and see who L'Jarius Sneed really is and what he does on the football field and his whole background. Before I get into that, it seems as though the Pittsburgh Steelers have been in many rumors recently that they're going to trade for Justin Fields. So if they want to trade for Justin Fields, it more than likely will take a second round draft pick. Also, they've been in rumors for everything. So looking at the quarterback situation, they've been in many rumors: Russell Wilson, Ryan Tannehill, Kirk Cousins, everything beyond that. So now they're in conversation with L'Jarius Sneed apparently. But looking at L'Jarius Sneed, right now, since he was just franchise tagged by the Kansas City Chiefs, that means he will be on a 1-year, $19.8 million contract. And he is also seeking a long-term contract. That would mean that the Pittsburgh Steelers would be paying him a ton of money. The Steelers would be able to obviously negotiate an extension with Sneed after trading for him if they were to, or he could play under that franchise tag in 2024 and then become a free agent in the 2025 season. So, Sneed could also refuse to sign his franchise tag and sit out a season, just like the Steelers running back Le'Veon Bell did back in the 2018 season. So before I get into anything beyond that, that's the base information you need to know about L'Jarius Sneed. Recently, however, Kansas City General Manager Brett Veach said at the 2024 NFL Combine in his interview that their goal is to sign L'Jarius Sneed to a long-term contract. But I just don't see that happening because they are paying people a lot of money, and paying a cornerback $20 million per year is a hefty price tag. And not only that, but they have their defensive tackle, Chris Jones, who is currently up for a contract. And the Chiefs currently have approximately $9.2 million to spend in cap space. So they can't pay their best defensive lineman that much money and then pay a cornerback on top of that $20 million. That could just not happen. So the Chiefs, even though their long-term goal, the general manager said, is to sign L'Jarius Sneed, I think that's just all talk, and they're more really looking to tag and trade him to a different team to get value back for him. They can't be paying every single player they get $20+ million. That's just not how the cap works. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, why does this make sense for them? Why are they in these rumors? Well, if you remember back at the trade deadline, apparently the Pittsburgh Steelers tried trading for Chicago Bears cornerback Jalen Johnson. So it kind of makes sense that they want to go out and get a talented cornerback to pair with Joey Porter Jr., especially because their cornerback depth was really bad last season. Other than Joey Porter Jr., the cornerback room was just not good. It was kind of imbalanced and not consistent all season long. Especially to start the year, cornerback Patrick Peterson looked like he was not going to work out with the team. He looked like he was way past his prime even more than he was in Minnesota, and it looked like he was not playing good football. And obviously, Levi Wallace, ever since he got to Pittsburgh, he just has not been a good cornerback. He lets up way too many yards. He gets interceptions, but that really is the only thing he does. Other than that, he just allows catches and yardage nonstop. So those 3 cornerbacks were their cornerback room last year. And then obviously they had those other people who barely played other than spot injuries and spot plays like James Pierre. But obviously now they want to pair Joey Porter Jr. with another top cornerback. And having 2 shutdown cornerbacks would help this defense so much. They already have a good pass rush, so having two cornerbacks to lock things down while the pass rush is able to get home could really boost this defense, especially because the safety and linebacker play has just not been good either. Really, a lot of injuries. Every single linebacker got injured, and mostly every single safety got injured last season. So that's why it makes sense, because they obviously showed interest in Jalen Johnson. They tried trading for him this offseason. But me personally, I would think that they would rather go out and try to sign Jalen Johnson because he is up for a contract this season. So if they can trade, if they could sign Jalen Johnson, they more than likely would do that. And then maybe their secondary option would be to trade for L'Jarius Sneed. So that's where it kind of makes sense to me if they were to try to acquire a top cornerback in free agency or via trade. But obviously the Bears are going to want to sign Jalen Johnson to a huge contract as well. But now going back to L'Jarius Sneed and why the Pittsburgh Steelers would be showing interest in him. Well, he's 27 years old and he's coming off extremely impressive 2023 season, and one in which he notched a career-high 10 pass breakups without allowing a single touchdown when in man coverage. He has been a really big piece of a Kansas City Chiefs defense, which helped them repeat as back-to-back Super Bowl champions. And based on the development kind of trajectory, there's no doubt that the Kansas City Chiefs would love to have him back. But with obviously the superstar Chris Johnson up for a contract, that's not a guarantee. Now, let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and would they be a good match for L'Jarius Sneed in terms of trading for him and giving up the value to the Kansas City Chiefs that they would be wanting. So like I said, Ian Rappaport has reported that the Kansas City Chiefs at least want a second round pick and think they could get that back for L'Jarius Sneed. Me personally, if I was trading for L'Jarius Sneed, I would not be giving up a second round pick. And that is because he's not no rookie contract, and also he's being tagged, which means he's making $20 million per year. So are you going to give up a huge contract to him, paying him $20 million per year, and also give a second round pick up for a cornerback? Or can you go in the draft and maybe draft a quarterback in the first round and hope he pans out? That's the way I would go. I would go into the draft and the first round draft a cornerback if I really wanted a cornerback that bad. Or I would go into free agency and really throw a bag at Jalen Johnson and try to sign him to a $20+ million contract and try to get him and not give up a second round pick, because you're going to be signing to him a huge contract. You're going to be giving him a huge contract, and on top of that, you're giving up a second round draft pick. That means that you're giving up so much value for a cornerback that you're going to sign to like a 5-year deal or 4-year deal, 3-year deal, however many years they're going to sign him for. If they were to sign him to a contract extension, you're also giving up a draft pick that's going to be a huge part of your team. That's an extra player on a rookie contract, a high-level rookie that you're not going to be able to get now because you're trading it for a cornerback that's 27 years old. And usually cornerbacks, 27, they're still in their prime, but that means that they really only have 5 years left of prime based off other people that you look at around the league. So me personally, I would not try trading for L'Jarius Sneed, and also I wouldn't try trading for him because is he the number one cornerback on the Kansas City Chiefs? You have to think about that. Was he the number one cornerback on their team? If you look at the stats, it's really kind of up in the air. He could be the number one or he could be the number two, because if you look at the stats and per NFL stats like PFF or other things, you can see Trent McDuffie. He was really either a number one or number two cornerback. They really go hand to hand. So you really don't know who's the number one cornerback there. And also, you look at the stats, Trent McDuffie is actually better than L'Jarius Sneed per PFF and all those kind of stats that you look at. So, trading for a cornerback, giving up that much money to him, $20 million per year, and also giving up a draft pick, just in my mind, it does not make sense. I understand they're trying to show some interest in him, and they have been trying to show interest in other players as well, like at the trade deadline and quarterbacks. But you have to think about it long term in terms of drafting a player with a second round pick. Usually their second round picks pan out. For example, they took Keanu Benton. last season in the second round. Just say they traded their second round pick last season and got a top cornerback. That means they're not getting Keanu Benton in the draft. So you have to think about it like that as well. And also, would you rather trade a second round pick for a top cornerback in this league? Or would you rather trade a second round pick for a top quarterback in this league? Like, they've been showing interest in Justin Fields, and many people are saying how they wouldn't want to give up a second round pick for Justin Fields in the draft. Well, would you be willing to give a second round pick for a top cornerback? It just doesn't make sense, because you rather have a quarterback than a top cornerback in this league. A quarterback is what decides Super Bowls and winning in the playoffs. A cornerback could get you far, but it's not a difference maker that a quarterback is. So if you aren't willing to give up a second round pick for a quarterback, why would he be willing to do so for a cornerback? That's why, in my mind, I'd rather give up that second round pick to get Justin Fields than to trade it for L'Jarius Sneed, and on top of that, sign him to $20+ million per season. But with that being said, that's just kind of my mindset on it. And per Steelers Now, once again, they're saying that the Steelers are showing interest in trading for L'Jarius Sneed of the Kansas City Chiefs. But with that being said, that's the end of this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, your thoughts on the situation. Do you believe the Pittsburgh Steelers should show interest in him? And would you actually want them to give up a second round pick for him? And also, do you think the Steelers would be a good fit if they were to get him? Do you think he would fit our system well? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Or do you not want him at all? Let me know your thoughts as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below as well if you like Steelers content, analysis, reports. Like the video, make sure you turn on post notifications for this channel. Click that bell down below so you never miss out whenever I post the next Steelers news, rumors, everything like that. Just because the season is done doesn't mean there's not interesting news in the off season. So I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.